Well, it's definitely not the way Jurgen Klopp and the Reds wanted to start 2023. Janusz, a 3-1 loss to Brentford. It's the G-Tech has never been, well, in recent times, it's been a tough place to go. People at Manchester United know how Brentford are a tough team to go up against. But this time, the Bees definitely came out strong. But Liverpool, I know you've spoken a lot about their woes defensively. We tend to always speak about how good they look going forward, how even defenders like Trent look good going forward. But is this now showing that that back line needs some work?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if we spent enough time talking about that because all we talk is about midfield, and of course, midfield wasn't good at all. If we saw the goals and even the last one, how easily Naby Keita got stripped of the ball, and immediately Konate was in trouble on that third goal. I mean, defensively, two set pieces, right? One didn't count. I mean, obviously, those two goals that Brentford scored, it didn't count, but defensively they didn't look good. Inches for offsides or whatever it may be, it's still defensively not sound. And by the way, you should see that coming. Everybody saw that coming, right? I mean, just after the World Cup, the Villa game, even though Liverpool won away, I mean, how many chances did Villa have in that game? You look at the Leicester game. If it wasn't for Wout Faes and two own goals, I don't know if Liverpool wins that. Remember the first goal where Leicester City basically walked through the entire team. It was Dewsbury Hall through the midfield, and so that didn't look good, obviously. So, look, the bottom line is Liverpool conceded. How many games have we played? 17 games, 22 goals. 22 goals. They conceded that when they won the Premier League. Remember, 22 goals all season. Even last year, which wasn't best, was 26 well, no, it was 33 when they won, but 22 goals in that famous season when Manchester City had 98 points and Liverpool 97. Sorry, I got my years mixed up. So I think I'm proving the point here that defensively it's been an issue for a while, and when you look at overall, it's been an issue in all formations for the most part.
Well, speaking, I suppose, to pick apart the defense just a bit more, especially considering we are in the January transfer window, I'm sure Jurgen will be looking to strengthen there. We know that they already have Cody Gakpo coming in. But if we look at it defensively now, because that's where they've always looked solid, if you're looking at centre-backs, Virgil van Dijk, you never really question him. We saw the game change a little bit when, Andy Robertson came back on as well. We know that Trent is also highly rated, I suppose, in terms of going forward. But who should be worried then, or who are you looking for some serious backup for?
Well, I mean, everybody should worry about. I mean, look at Virgil van Dijk. I mean, he started 146 games and has only been substituted 3 times. That includes today. Well, wait and see, because there could be some sort of an injury. But even if it was, I mean, if you look at him in the last few months, and even today, he wasn't his best. Remember, Bemo got by him as if he wasn't there in the first half, and it was a great save by Alisson. But from the subsequent corner, Brentford went ahead, and as I said, Van Dijk, we all know, hasn't been in his best form. I hope, and he's certainly good enough to get back. But looking at him today, I mean, if he was substituted because he didn't play well, it's a fair play. If you have to shake things up, even Van Dijk, and I know it's not easy for Jurgen Klopp, but why not? Konate, I had high hopes for him. Didn't look great. An own goal, not sure how much he could have done. That third goal, I think he's got to be stronger. Could have been, I suppose, a foul, but I don't know, it was all that obvious that it was a mistake made by the referee. So I suppose that it had to stand. So Konate is not great. Matip hasn't been good. I mean, you name me a player in the back that's been playing well for Liverpool. And I've always said you have to be solid. The reason Liverpool won the Premier League, the reason they've been in a fight in the last 3 or 4 years, it wasn't necessarily what was happening going forward. It was because they were so solid everywhere. I mean, super solid. They high pressed. They recovered the ball very quickly. They recovered the ball like they did in the first 15, 20 minutes in the second half when Jurgen Klopp made all those changes, right? For 15, 20 minutes, you kind of said, wow, they scored a goal. This is the Liverpool that we haven't seen. But it's not so easy to do that consistently, and Liverpool hasn't done it this season.
How much do you think that all of these issues now are mounting, provided that they're not solved in this January transfer window, how much do you think this has set them back in their top 4 race? Is that realistically what they should just be aiming for now?
Yeah, tremendously, tremendously. I mean, Manchester United could be now they're in fourth place. They got Bournemouth. They win that at 7 points. It's not the end for sure, but looking at this Liverpool right now, it's a massive job for Jurgen Klopp to pick those guys up. You look a little bit further ahead. There's Real Madrid in the Champions League, and you're looking at what's happening here. Yes, they will recover some players, but not quickly enough. Again, Cody Gakpo is going to come in. That's the
Mhm.
end of the pitch where I worry a little bit less because I
Yeah.
think Liverpool will score goals. So I don't know. It's not looking good. We kind of always say, well, it's Liverpool, it's Jurgen Klopp. We trust him as a leader. We trust him as a motivator. That's why I think it's possible that Liverpool will go on a run of 5 or 6 or 7 wins, and then that may just be enough because who knows? Manchester United are looking better.
Mhm.
Chelsea are indifferent. Newcastle hasn't been tested yet. But let's be honest here. It is not looking good for Liverpool. It's not that it's all in their hands because there's certainly a number of teams that will want to stake the claim to that fourth spot, and they're looking a little bit better than Liverpool.
All right. Well, I suppose it's back to the drawing board for Liverpool, but we definitely have to talk a little bit about Brentford. They're the ones that got this win. They do continue to impress, especially this season. Janusz, what did you like the most about the performance today? And realistically, what can they now start to aim for this part of the season?
What I like the most, Ivan Tony's not there, no problem.
Exactly.
Wissa, it comes in and scores a goal, had a couple other goals as well that were disallowed, but
Yeah.
it's right decisions. But he looked the part, didn't he? So look, I mean, there's simple football team in so many ways, but they do what they know to do best. They win at home. I mean, they've caused a lot of big teams. I think Chelsea was there, right? I mean, they didn't
Mhm.
win. They beat Manchester United, as you mentioned. They should have beaten Spurs just a week
Mhm.
ago, 2-0 up and ended up 2-2. They recently went to Manchester City and beat them away 2-1. So what can you possibly say? Thomas Frank has told us that he just signed a new contract and he said there's a lot more to come from Brentford. When he said that, I wasn't really sure if he meant it, and I wasn't really sure what he meant by that. But look at this. Here we are, beating Liverpool, playing a pretty good football. I mean, they are physical, they're difficult, they have
Yeah.
tons of energy, but I think there's more to them, and they continue to prove that. So they are where they are. We'll see. Again, I mean, it's still Brentford, right? We've seen that in the past from various teams, and I even remember Sheffield United and Wolves have done it, and some other teams can do it. Can they sustain that over the course of seasons is another story, but they won't care. I mean, they're giant killers at the moment.